Joe Root has turned us head over heels. A run machine in the red ball format. No wonder we've started making comparisons of him surpassing the great Sachin Tendulkar in the test scheme of things. 3,519 runs. That's exactly what separates Root from Tendulkar. Root versus Tendulkar. The test match debate making the rounds. And it's a compelling one because the Englishman has been literally scoring runs at a rapid rate. And it makes you think about this one, Sachin or Root. Who's going to win this? That's what we're going to decide in this one in cricket.com, the Sledge Box. At 33, the Englishman still has quite a few years of international cricket left in him. And with the amount of tests England plays in a year, he has ample cricket on offer. However, the key word here is consistency. Suppose he surpasses the Master Blaster. Can he be regarded as the GOAT? Even now, there are a few vital boxes yet to be ticked by Root. Can we all call him the greatest of this era, at least? It's debatable. It's pretty hot coffee, but it's also a hotter debate because Root and Tendulkar's numbers are mind-boggling in terms of what they've achieved. But this is what our colleagues had to say, and it's kind of controversial. Take a look.
So I'm looking at all the Fab Four members, and I look at Root, and I feel like he does not have that one memorable knock or like some legacy-defining series under his belt like the other three have.
So what people might actually remember is that whether he had any sort of say in, say, the Ashes down under.
Yeah.
If you look at it, the likes of Kevin Peterson or your Andrew Strauss or Alistair Cook, all of them, even though they might not have extraordinary numbers in comparison to your Root, but they all have series-defining moments, series-defining performances. You look at Steve Smith. 2019 Ashes can never be forgotten. I don't think people will talk about Root in the same manner.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he might even go past Sachin's record. Maybe he'll have the best, all of that on paper.
Yeah.
But what defines a legacy is actually your wins. I mean, it might be a slightly controversial, but if you look at Sachin Tendulkar's ODI record, right, it's great. But had he not won the World Cup, maybe 20, 30 years down the line, people would still be talking about it, saying that moment that never happened for him. So I think the same might happen for Root if he doesn't perform, say, in Australia.
Root, right? So I was looking at some numbers. So he averages 35 in Australia, which is like decent, not great. Okay, he's not scored a single century in Australia in his 3 tours there, I guess.
And in his peak form.
Yeah. And this is at a time when he, in 2021, right? He was like tearing apart world cricket. Then he goes to Australia and he could not buy a run out there.
Even to go as far as saying that if you look at that series, right, Ashes, you might even remember the knocks that, say, like Malan played, or even the knock that Bairstow played.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you will never remember what Root did in either of the tests. So I think that's where the underlying point is, that you don't actually remember what Root has done in that breakthrough moment has never been there.
So, for all the talk of him being a great player of spin and how he's like dominating in India or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I felt that Root did not do that in that series. And also in this series that England lost 4-1 earlier
Recently,
in the year, right? You know how Root had plenty of opportunities to kind of right the wrongs, right? Like you remember that reverse scoop he played against Bumrah in the ill-fated morning session, right?
Yeah.
He had so many opportunities to kind of, see, Root is at this level. In this series, he has the opportunity to go to this level, especially the India series earlier this year after they won the first test. That is where the legacy part truly comes in for Root. See, I'll ask you a simple question, okay? We are talking about Steve Smith, the test batter. You name his 3 greatest knocks in test cricket, you'll probably pick the Pune one, second 100%. Innings, you'll pick the Edgbaston one.
Even the Lords one.
Yeah, you'll pick the Lords one, or I mean, he has, there are the other knocks he's played, like the Dharamshala century he scored in India. Or I would even look at the Ashes 2017 first test at G.O.A.T when he batted at the tail and scored a 140 odd. And he's played so many such knocks. Ashes again we're talking about. You talk about Kohli's best knocks, you'll probably pick his twin hundreds at Adelaide, right? At least. And you'll pick what he did at Edgbaston in 2018. He has, again, so many other knocks. Williamson, undoubtedly the World Test Championship final, and there might not be too many knocks for Williamson because New Zealand
they don't play a lot.
New Zealand don't play a lot, but you remember even the knock against Sri Lanka he played last year, where he kind of batted all by himself, and like I think he snuck a by or something of the last ball to take them to victory.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
If I were to ask you the same question, can you name me the three knocks you think will define Root's legacy? Can you actually pick out any like proper three apart from the double century against India in Chennai?
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
even if you have to think about it, right? India in Chennai and the Sri Lanka double hundred. But apart from that, there are not a lot of knocks.
I'd probably say that the Basto partnership they had in that when they chased 360 odd in that one-off test.
Yeah,
But again,
exactly,
that ultimately came at home, right?
Yeah.
So again, we all agree that great away knocks, are what truly define a great batter,
See, that's what
especially.
no. So when we're talking about say like the likes of Virat Kohli, right? Every time we talk about this aspect, that what has he done in Sena,
Yeah.
right? Now when we're taking comparison of Sena batters, we have to talk about what they have actually done in Asia. With the exception of that double century either like in Chennai and or in, at Gaul, all the other places I don't think he's done a lot for me to remember, or like for even England fans to remember. But at the end of the day, the fact remains that he's not performed in conditions or in tough conditions where he needs to perform. So that's our 2 cents.
And if records are anything to go by, Joe Root has been kind of an average player in Australia. It's fair to say that he's fallen pretty flat. In 27 innings across 14 matches in Australia, Joe Root has scored only 892 runs at an average of 35.68 with 0 tons to his name. To pile on the misery, England have never won on Australian soil when Root has played a test. And only 110 runs in the last 3 red ball affairs in India at an average of 18.33 does not help Joe Root's cause either. Dare I say, Joe Root is a GOAT in tests, let alone the Fab Four race. It just makes you think whether he's the best in his era as well. So, all things considered, I think Sachin wins this. At least that's my opinion. What do you guys have to say? It's a divided one. Let us know in the comments till I get a couple, right, at least in the category.